Bonjour, Kinamagini Erlen Adishnikas, and welcome to this production of Social Studies Explorer. Today's episode, Citizenship Study, questions 46 through 50. We'll begin by stating that the purpose of this video is to aid students in being able to answer the same questions that our U.S. immigrants have to answer when applying to become citizens of the United States. Civics education, along with history and politics, are very important as our youth grow up and become the decision makers in our country and in our community. We'll start with question 46. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one. The 15th Amendment is the amendment that allowed African American males to vote. This is post-slavery and is grouped often with the 13th and 14th Amendments. This did not apply to African American women, as women of any race could not vote in 1870. Fast forward a half a century, yes, that's right, 50 years later, and most women in the United States were granted suffrage after a public and long protest against the idea that women shouldn't be able to vote while we're attempting to promote democracy around the globe. The 24th Amendment, 44 years later, banned the idea of poll taxes and other Jim Crow era attempts to stop African Americans from voting. And then finally, in 1971, the 26th Amendment lowered the voting age from 21 to 18. What are 2 responsibilities are only for U.S. citizens? Serving on a jury and voting in federal elections. Let's take a quick video image here.
People who are born in the United States are automatically granted citizenship. Others must go through the naturalization process. However, once citizenship is achieved, it is equal among all Americans and grants us certain rights, such as voting in the federal elections. Voting allows Americans to have their voices heard in government by electing officials they believe in. Additionally, citizenship allows us the right to serve on a jury in order to offer a fair trial to the person accused of a crime and make a contribution to the American justice system.
Serving on a jury is very important, as the concept requires a jury of one's peers, and the more people that in a community that take this seriously, the more fair a trial should be. All right, a true false question. You must be a U.S. citizen to vote in federal elections. And that is true. Only U.S. citizens can vote in federal elections. If you are a legal immigrant that is not yet a citizen, you may not vote. There are some places, however, that do allow non-citizens to vote in local elections, whether it be for city councils or school boards, but this is limited to some municipalities and is not true at the United States level. What are the rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom to petition the government, freedom of speech and expression, freedom of religion and assembly. And if you've forgotten some of these or would like to view more, use the Google slide to review the Bill of Rights wrap. Bill of Rights, Bill of Rights. We show loyalty to the US flag and the United States when we say the Pledge of Allegiance, true or false. And this is considered to be true. And let's view this link from ushistory.org. A little bit about the Pledge of Allegiance is that originally it did not include the words under God. Those weren't added until the Red Scare, when we had fear of communism. We thought that we would try to distinguish between ourselves and the Soviet Union by adding those words to it. There is a flag code that states how one should stand for it. And note that there was even an accepted gesture, kind of like the Roman salute, but that was removed during lead up to World War II, when it looked much too similar to what Hitler was expecting of people in Nazi ruled Germany. It should be noted, however, that no one is required to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and some cultural groups do not for cultural or religious reasons. There is no law that says you must stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or participate. I would like to add that all images found in this presentation or videos linked in are not my property. I do not own the rights to the images, video, or music, and are used for educational purposes only. Miigwech for you viewing this episode. To practice throughout the week, you may click on this link or use the Google Classroom to click on the link to the Quizlet there. Hope you all have a minogijigad. Minwa Bamapi.